13.8 billion years ago, everything you see around you, every star, every planet, every atom in your body, exploded into existence from a region smaller than the period at the end of this sentence. But here's the question that will blow your mind: what existed before that moment? We're about to journey into the impossible realm before time itself began, where the very concept of before breaks down completely. We'll explore quantum foam bubbling with ghost particles, infinite universes colliding in higher dimensions, and the shocking possibility that your consciousness might be actively creating reality right now. If you're ready to question everything you think you know about existence, hit that like button and let's dive into the deepest mystery in all of science. Scientists call it T0, the moment when time itself began. But here's what makes this so mind-bending: we're trying to understand what came before the very concept of before existed. Think about it. No ticking clocks, no aging, no sequence of events. Not darkness waiting for light, but the complete absence of duration itself. It's like trying to describe the color of something in a place where light is impossible. The mathematics that describe our universe with perfect precision everywhere else simply stop working at this point. Einstein's equations produce infinities and impossible answers. It's as if reality has a "do not enter" sign written in the language of physics itself. But modern physics suggests something profound was happening in this impossible realm. And the answer is stranger than any science fiction. Right now, as you watch this video, the empty space around you is actually buzzing with invisible activity. What we call nothingness refuses to stay nothing. Even in the deepest vacuum between galaxies, quantum fields are constantly creating pairs of particles that pop into existence, dance briefly together, then annihilate and disappear. This happens trillions of times per second in every tiny volume of space around you right now. Scientists prove this isn't just theory through something called the Casimir effect. When you place two metal plates extremely close together in a vacuum, the quantum fields between them have less room to fluctuate. This creates a measurable force pushing the plates together. Empty space literally exerts pressure. But here's the kicker: these quantum fields can borrow energy from the future to create particles, as long as they pay it back quickly enough. It's like the universe runs on cosmic credit cards. And if quantum fluctuations can create particles from nothing, they might be able to create something much bigger. Like an entire universe. Picture an eternal cosmic ocean where soap bubbles constantly form and separate from the surface. Each bubble represents a universe like ours, with its own space, time, and physical laws. Our observable universe is just the inside of one such bubble. Right now, as you process these words, countless other versions of yourself might be watching slightly different versions of this video in parallel realities. Some universes differ from ours by just the position of a single electron. Others are so alien that gravity repels instead of attracts. The mathematics of quantum mechanics and cosmic inflation suggest this isn't science fiction, it's an inevitable consequence of the laws of physics. If quantum fluctuations created our universe, they should be creating others constantly and endlessly. But here's where it gets truly staggering. Some versions of multiverse theory suggest there are infinite universes, which means every possible variation of reality exists somewhere. There's a universe where you decided to become an astronaut. There's one where dinosaurs never went extinct. There's even one where you paused this video at exactly this moment. But parallel universes might not stay parallel forever. Here's something that will make you question the nature of reality itself. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously until the moment someone observes them. But nobody understands how or why observation transforms quantum possibilities into definite realities. When you observe a quantum system, you don't just discover what was already there. You participate in deciding what becomes real. In the famous double-slit experiment, electrons go through two slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern that proves they went through both slits at once. But the moment you observe which slit an electron goes through, the interference pattern disappears. The electron retroactively becomes localized, as if your future observation reached backward in time. This suggests something incredible: your consciousness right now might be actively creating the specific version of the universe you experience. Every moment of awareness could be a choice point where infinite quantum possibilities collapse into one experienced reality. If this is true for individual particles, it might also be true for the entire universe. What if the cosmos existed in quantum superposition until conscious observers appeared to collapse the possibilities into definite realities? What if consciousness doesn't just observe reality, but actively participates in creating it? Here's something that keeps physicists awake at night. The forces that govern reality are balanced so precisely that changing any one of them by even a tiny amount would make stars impossible, atoms unstable, or complexity completely forbidden. If gravity were just slightly stronger, stars would burn through their fuel in millions of years instead of billions, never giving life time to evolve. If it were slightly weaker, stars would never form at all. The electromagnetic force shows the same impossible precision. Make it a little stronger, and electrons would bind so tightly to atomic nuclei that chemistry would be impossible. Make it weaker, and atoms would fall apart. The odds of all these constants randomly falling within the narrow ranges that allow complexity are essentially zero. It's like throwing a dart from 1,000,000 miles away and hitting a target the size of a single atom. The multiverse offers one explanation: infinite universes exist with random physical constants. Most are sterile wastelands, but we observe a fine-tuned universe because we couldn't exist in any other type. We don't observe random constants because random constants don't produce observers. But there's an even stranger possibility. Right now, as you experience this three-dimensional world around you, you might actually be observing a hologram projected from information stored on a two-dimensional surface billions of light-years away. This isn't science fiction speculation. The holographic principle emerged from studies of black holes, where physicists discovered that all the information in a three-dimensional region can be encoded on its two-dimensional boundary. Think of watching a movie on a screen. The movie appears three-dimensional and full of complex action, but it's actually information patterns on a flat surface. The holographic principle suggests our universe works the same way. Our entire observable universe, with all its galaxies, stars, planets, and life forms, might be information encoded on a distant cosmic boundary. We experience three dimensions because that's how the information is processed and projected, but the fundamental reality exists on a horizon we can never reach. If reality is holographic, then what we call the Big Bang might have been the moment when information processing began on this cosmic boundary. Before this moment, the boundary existed in some dormant state, containing the potential for our reality but not yet projecting it. Here's something that might shatter your perception of reality: time might not exist at the most fundamental level. Right now, you feel time flowing from past to future, but this experience might be a convincing illusion. Think about a movie recorded on film. The individual frames exist simultaneously on the reel, but when played in sequence, they create the illusion of motion and temporal flow. Similarly, all moments in the history of our universe might exist simultaneously in a timeless realm. Einstein's relativity treats time as just another dimension, no different from the three dimensions of space. Your birth, your death, and every moment between exist simultaneously in what physicists call the block universe. If time is emergent rather than fundamental, then asking what came before the Big Bang becomes meaningless in a deeper sense. In a timeless realm, there is no before, because there is no temporal sequence. Some physicists propose that time emerges from quantum entanglement between different parts of the universe. The past is the direction of less entanglement, the future is the direction of more entanglement, and the present is the evolving boundary between them. Of years from now, when the last star has died and the last black hole has evaporated, what will remain? Most assume the answer is nothing. But what if nothingness itself can evolve? The quantum vacuum that permeates space today will still exist in the far future, bubbling with virtual particles. This dynamic, information-rich medium might undergo phase transitions, becoming more efficient at creating universes that support complexity and consciousness. Advanced conscious beings in the far future might discover ways to program the vacuum itself, encoding information that guides the creation of new realities. Future nothingness might be conscious nothingness, aware of its own potential and actively choosing which possibilities to actualize. This leads to the most mind-bending possibility of all. If conscious nothingness can create universes by choice rather than chance, then what we call the Big Bang might have been a deliberate act of creation by consciousness that evolved in a previous cycle of cosmic history. We began by asking what existed before the Big Bang, and we've discovered that this question opens doorways to the deepest mysteries of existence itself. We've seen that nothingness might be impossible, that time might be an illusion, that our universe might be a holographic projection, and that consciousness itself might be the fundamental creative force in the cosmos. Perhaps the most profound insight is that we are not separate from this mystery, we are the universe becoming aware of itself, asking questions about its own origin and destiny. In seeking to understand what came before, we participate in the eternal dance between something and nothing, between possibility and actuality. The cosmos began in mystery and continues in wonder. And the journey of discovery never ends. If this blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending explorations of reality. What do you think existed before the Big Bang? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to dive deeper into these concepts, check out the links in the description. Until next time,